Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Not So Serious Keto video podcast. In this episode, I'm going to talk about YouTube trolls, channel censorship / management. I'm going to return once again to the topic of blood glucose testing, which has been a little bit of a theme the last couple of weeks. And I will finish by talking about hidden carbs. One of the things I just don't understand is the notion of internet trolls. I don't get what sort of psyche enjoys just going out and antagonizing people, especially large groups of people. And it seems like I get a fair amount of this in the comments to my videos. Sometimes it's people that just, I think, want to pick a fight, whether they're standard American diet or vegan or potentially really dogmatic, super clean keto. Not so much carnivore people, it seems like. Maybe they're just happy because they eat meat all the time. But the posts are clearly designed to elicit some sort of response, whether it's being especially insulting of me or the channel or something that I say, or even of another member. If any of you know why people would want to do that, or if you yourself are a troll and tend to do that, tell me, what is your motivation? What are you getting out of this? As I've gone and looked at comments on certain other keto channels, I seem to find not a lot of trolls or especially nasty comments or anything like that. And it makes me wonder, are they deleting those comments, or are they just making sure that all the positive stuff gets, a heart and a thumbs up so that it works its way towards the top of the comments and pushes those negative things down? As a YouTube content provider, you're given certain tools that you can use to manage your comments. You can put in certain words and have them flagged so that any comment that has those words will be held for review. And YouTube already has a number of things, whether it's profanity or especially insulting type comments, racist terms, things like that, that automatically get flagged and they wind up getting put into a bucket that then the content provider can take a look at called held for review. Also, there's a category called likely spam. And I think that gets a little more in the way of false positives that wind up getting flagged there. Lots of times people will just say thank you and have an exclamation point, and that winds up in likely spam. So I go in there and I hit approve, and then it appears in the comments. So if you ever leave a comment and it's not showing up, it could be that it was potentially flagged as held for review or as likely spam. And if it's neither of those things, I'll clear it and then they show up back in the comments. Two other tools that content providers have are delete and hide from channel. Delete is just what it sounds like. If someone were to leave a comment that I felt was completely inappropriate, I have the ability to just delete that comment. Most of the time, I let things fly. I figure if someone wants to say something nasty about me, if they want to be a troll, whatever, generally I let them do that. I'll give them a thumbs down. I won't engage them really beyond that. There have been some comments that seem, maybe a little bit trollish or like they were trying to antagonize me, and I responded rather positively to them, and suddenly they turned into a nice person. So I'm not generally in the habit of deleting comments unless it is something that showed up and held for review and, is racist or highly profane or just completely offensive without adding any value to the conversation. If comments attack other subscribers, other commenters, I'll usually delete those as well, because it's one thing if people want to attack me. I'm a YouTube channel, I've kind of put myself out in the public domain, and while I don't enjoy getting comments like that, it kind of comes with the territory. But for the rest of you who are just trying to be part of this community and commenting, you shouldn't be attacked by a troll. So I will delete those. The other option is hide from channel. This is essentially a shadow ban. What it does is it makes that YouTube user invisible to everyone but themselves. So they can get out, they can type a comment, and they will see it, but none of us will. They've been hidden. As you look at this held for review, you'll see that there's 7 comments listed in there, but I don't see any of them. Likely, these are from people who have been hidden from the channel for repeatedly being a jerk to me and to other people in the community. So they've left a comment Clearly it was nasty enough that once again it got flagged by YouTube, but I don't see it. What I find kind of amusing and a little bit sad is rather than just go away from a channel they don't like me, they want to keep coming and leaving nasty comments and thumbs down. And I know that there are some subscribers who have subscribed to me and have turned on notifications just so they can get out and give me a thumbs down within the first couple of minutes of me posting any video. If you look through my videos and likes and dislikes, you'll notice that routinely it's like 7 or 8 dislikes the first day. And then sometimes that's all there is those 7 or 8. And I'm fairly convinced that those are people that just derive some sort of petty pleasure out of getting out onto my video and hitting that thumbs down. And if you do, if that's you, fine. If that's your catharsis, go ahead, click that thumbs down. But I got news for you. YouTube sees that as engagement, which is good for me. Because after you click that thumbs down, if you go to any other YouTube channel, YouTube likes the fact that I drove you to another YouTube channel. They don't care. They don't care if you're watching me or someone else, so long as you're watching YouTube. So if you really want to hurt me, the thumbs down, probably not the way to do it. Probably just don't watch my channel at all. Or watch YouTube at all. So sort of as a summary, I will never use censorship on this channel against an opposing point of view. Or if someone says a recipe didn't work out, or if someone says someone else made a better version of your thing, here's a link, that's fine. I will never get rid of anything like that. But if there are people that are trying to be disruptive on this channel and in this community and are insulting or threatening to other channel members or subscribers, they're going to have their comments deleted, and if they repeat that behavior, they're going to find themselves hidden from the channel. Let's talk about blood glucose monitoring. One of the things that I kind of have opted not to do for the most part up until recently is to do blood glucose testing during videos, especially reviews. I had seen people do it before and it just didn't really resonate with me. And maybe that's because some people draw it out too long, they make it too dramatic. I think part of it is also that I recognize that different people are going to have different reactions to different foods. So something that causes you to have a spike in blood glucose may not cause me to have a spike in blood glucose, and vice versa. I would generally say though that if I try a product out and it spikes me, it's probably going to spike you. If I try it and it doesn't spike me, it may still spike you. So it makes sense, as I've said in any video where I do any testing, that you should test your blood glucose if you are concerned about a product. It's a new product, you haven't tried it before, it's something that's supposed to be keto friendly, but you're not sure. Own your measurements. I say it over and over again. So going forward, as I use a product or ingredient that I think may have an impact on blood sugar, I will do a test. But it will be a fast one. I like snapping through those pretty quickly. Some nice tight edits on that sort of stuff. I don't guarantee that I'll do it on every product, but like I said, it will be on those ones that I'm maybe a little bit concerned about. And this dovetails nicely, I think, into the discussion on hidden carbs. When I first got into keto and I started hearing the term hidden carbs, I watched what a few channels had to say about them. Some of them would just throw out the term hidden carbs, look out for hidden carbs. And I'm like, how do I know where there's a hidden carb if it's hidden? There are a couple of other pretty popular channels out there that were responding to a viewer question on hidden carbs. And both of these gentlemen were rather dismissive about it, to the point of being almost sort of patronizing, like, hidden carbs? A carb can't hide. Tell me how's a carb gonna hide? Their voice doesn't sound like that. That was just my protect their innocence sort of voice on it. Well, let me tell you, there was a recipe that I wanted to do. I had actually recorded the video. It's a shredded chicken in green sauce that is ridiculously easy to make in a slow cooker. Wonderful. I'm like looking at the macros in Carb Manager and it's essentially zero carb. Aside from some onion in there, I'm thinking, wow, this is fantastic. I'm going to be a hero when people see this video. And then I took a look at the nutrition label on this, the Goya Recaito. I love this stuff. This is great, great tasting stuff. And then, as I looked at the nutrition label, I loved it a lot less. First off, the ingredients. Water, so far so good. Culantro, all right. Green peppers, okay. Dehydrated onions, still doing all right. Modified food starch, soybean oil, salt, granulated garlic, monosodium glutamate, that doesn't really bother me. Citric acid and oregano, but we've got soybean oil and we've got food starch in there. So we've got a dirty ingredient and we've got something that ought to be contributing to the carb count. But as I look at this, total fat, 0 grams, cholesterol, 0 milligrams, total carbohydrates, 0 grams. How can this be? Well, I'll tell you how it can be. The serving size is 1 teaspoon. That's ridiculous. There's no way someone is just going to have 1 teaspoon of this. There's 136 servings in this jar. In my mind, if I'm making this on my chicken, there is probably, I want to say, 8 servings in here. My understanding of food labeling in the United States is that if something is less than half a gram, it can be rounded down to 0. This could potentially, in a teaspoon, have 0.4 of a gram of carbohydrates. And since I would say a serving of this is going to be at least a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/2 cup, you're looking at 5 to 10 grams of carbohydrates in a serving. Hidden carbohydrates because of the label. And what's unfortunate is when I put this into Carb Manager, no matter how many servings I say, it comes back as 0 carbohydrates. I have seen some nutrition labels from products from other countries, and they disclose a lot more information. So it will give the nutritional information per serving, and then either per 100 grams, or for the entire container. I don't see us ever getting to that place here in the United States. I think there's just too much special interest money around nutritional labeling and things like that. So it is up to us to look at the ingredients. It's up to us to try and figure out, do things just not quite add up here? You're showing me some ingredients that ought to have some carbs, but you're telling me there's no carbs. Take a look at what the serving size is, and that may be the giveaway. And now, before I end this video, I just want to say thank you. I know at the end of every video I say, thanks for watching. The reason I do that is not to have some little catchphrase at the end to close things out. The reason I do that is because I sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. I know there's so many other things you could be doing. There are so many other videos you could be watching. The fact that you spent a little bit of your day watching or listening to me means a lot. So, thanks for watching or listening.